exciting class. We have one of the best today. Somebody came by before and said, "What are you going to teach today?" I said, "Hey, I've got the foggiest idea." I said, "But we got 4 things that are possible for today. Plus, a lot of you have been sending me little links that say, hey, look at this video, look at this."
Has it been 6 years? I want to thank Mr. Green again for letting me come up. I have to beg him sometimes. No, I really do. I love coming up here. I love talking to you guys. It's just, you know, there's so many areas that you guys are involved in, and as I sit here and I listen and what you guys are doing, I don't bring a whole lot of notes, but I have a lot of information to give you. And some of it is basics. You know, you're here, you're in school, and how many here are like senior year, ready to get out? Junior year, how about junior? Okay, sophomores? That's it, right? One? Okay. How many people here have like a business, like a family business to go into? Are we lined up, kind of? Couple, okay. How about, and the rest are open jobs, interviewing, that kind of thing? Is that what you're going to be doing? Kind of? Anything else? Like that?
Businesses.
Okay.
Start some businesses.
Start some businesses? How about start some businesses? Love it. Love to see that. Love to see that. That's great. That's great. You know, this real estate case that you have is interesting in that for a lot of people that don't know a lot about the real estate business, it is the ultimate entrepreneurial business in existence. You don't get a paycheck on Friday. Think about that. No paycheck on Friday. You want to be entrepreneurs? How many weeks can you go without a paycheck on Friday? How many weeks can you go? How many months can you go without a paycheck on Friday? It's ballsy. It's entrepreneurial is tremendous. It's gutsy. It's ballsy. It's scary. I got chills right now as I'm talking. I swear, I do. But you know what? I haven't missed a payroll. How the hell did I do it? Make payroll. Whew. That doesn't sound like much right now, does it? You guys are in college. Make payroll. Doesn't sound like much, does it? Wait till you have to make payroll. And you don't have the income. And it's not in the checking account. Now what do you do? Mr. Entrepreneurs, Miss Entrepreneurs, now what do you do? Huh? Tell me, what do you do?
Bag, borrow, steal. Bag, borrow, steal.
Thank you, very good. Okay? It's gutsy, man. You know, so that's why I love coming up here. You're at the #1 entrepreneurial school in the country. You've got the #1 entrepreneurial teacher. Guys, not because he's my accountant, but little gems, man. He's giving you all these little gems. All right? Use them. Take them. All right? It's invaluable what you're learning. Okay? I had wished when I was in college, as I sat there, what am I going to do? How am I going to do it? You know, when I get out. You're getting a lot of this. You're getting a lot of this entrepreneurial experience and bringing people in that are telling you, you know, these kind of things and helping you get to do that. This is what Babson's about, and that's why I love coming up here. So the real estate thing and this 2080 thing that's gotten a life of its own in this Babson thing. I don't know what's going on here. It's crazy, but it's nothing more than the Pareto principle. The Pareto principles in the United States of America, 20% of the money is held by 80% of the money is held by 20% of the people. In insurance, in real estate, in every sales aspect. I don't care. There's a couple papers I read that didn't believe in it. Get out in the real. Whoever said they didn't believe in it, go in the real world for 3 years and then 2 years, 1 year, and then come talk to me. Wait till you get out there. Okay? How many people have taken summer jobs? Okay? Have you succeeded? Were there people around you that did? Were there people around you that didn't? Why? What makes the difference between, you know, so, you know, the ones that raised your hands, you saw it around you. You saw the Pareto principle happen. You know, when I had 10 people and I wrote in the thing that you read, you know, 2 people are awake, 2 people can do it, 3 people, they're sitting around, they're kind of there, and 5, They shouldn't be in a non-structured environment. They shouldn't be in a sales entity where you gotta live and die by the sale. Some people can't work that way. You know, not everybody can be salesmen. You know, every company has salespeople, got accountants, bookkeepers, got administration, you got everything, right? You got production, you got manufacturing, you got everything. You know, not everybody can be salesmen, okay? So the 20/80 rule, primarily, it stretches out into other areas of the business. It really does, but sales primarily, yes. You know, other areas, you know, production managers, can we measure production managers by the Pareto principle? Maybe. You know, it's not my line of work, it's not my thing, but if you're gonna go into that line of business, think about it. You know, if you're hiring somebody, if you're analyzing somebody, you know, compared to others, where do they fit? The guy that works for you, that's your production manager, is he good? How good is he? How can you tell? How can you measure his productivity? How can you measure his qualities? By other production managers. You know, similar types of companies. Are they doing this and your company's doing this? Why? Is this guy the difference? So there's ways to measure that. But in sales, if you don't believe in it, you sure will soon. Okay? I tried another company, I tried another business, and it was the same thing. And the 20/80 rule is real, and if you're gonna hire some salespeople, and you're gonna be hiring people, you're gonna be hiring salespeople, okay? That you're gonna be doing, okay? And make sure you have that in your mind when you're interviewing somebody. Don't just take the first person, or the first person that says, I really wanna come work for you. Everybody's gonna say that to you, they want a job, but you know, be careful who you take, all right? Because the investment you're gonna make in that person after you accept them is money coming out of your pocket for a period of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 months till you analyze this person and realize, did I make the right decision or not? That could cost you $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 before you realize, man, I recruited a dud here. You know, what do you do after 6 months and you got a dud? What's a dud? You know, the person can't sell. You know, are you responsible for that? You know, were you responsible for that? Did you make the right environment? Then you can start looking and saying, did he have the right environment? Did he have the right tools? Let's look at all the crutches. Let's bring out more crutches, okay? But you put a salesman out there that is one of the top 20 in the 20%, you don't have to worry about the crutches. They're gonna figure out how to make this thing happen. In fact, I did that. I've had salesmen come to me, even in the Remax organization, come to me that I've hired and have improved my organization just because they were that strong. And they came back and said, all right, here's what we need to do next. Here's what we need now. Here's what we need. All right, so when you get that kind of feedback, you got a real hitter here. You got a good guy, good girl that can sell, and it's going to make your company better. Why? You can tell. They come back and they say, we're doing good, but we need, here's what we need now. They're not coming back with empty sheets, no sales. They're coming back with franchise agreement, a sale, but they're saying, you know what, if we had this, this, and this, we can improve. Then you know you got somebody.
And just to carry it one step further, when we bought Symbio, okay, the New York Stock Exchange company I told you about, and the bad times came in 2008, okay, we took the salesman, okay, and eliminated 80% of the salesman. Okay, the 20% that was left have improved sales in a bad economy. I mean, again, you can close your eyes and say, and then of the 16,000 people in the factories, we're down to 8,000, and the production is higher. So again, you've got to look at people. That's the biggest cost that you've got, and most of them are just taking up time and space.
What's the cost of a lead? What Mr. Green was just going to. This is going to be important. What's it going to cost for you to get a lead in your company? You're going to spend advertising or you're not. You're going to do this or you're not. You're going to do a whole bunch of stuff. There's going to be some cost to a lead. Who do you give the lead to? Okay? In the real estate business, how it's done, you know, how Remax was able to excel and succeed. I'm going to give you some of that, some of the proof is in the pudding now. I'm going to have to give you some of those statistics. So, for about the next 2-3 minutes, I'm going to try to give you some statistics that'll place some of the things that I've been saying to you in perspective and show you how strong that Pareto principle can work for you. So in a conventional real estate environment, what's always happened is you get these salespeople. Let's say this is the salespeople. You got these salespeople, and calls are going to come in, whether it be from a sign on a lawn, an ad. Leads are going to come in. Okay, who do the leads go to? So that you all went out there, you all went out and listed property, you know, or 20% of you did a lot of listings, 30% got some, and 50% have a couple. Okay. All these calls, and 80% of the calls are going to come from, let's do it this way. This 20%, right, they have 80% of the signs out in the marketplace. Okay, this 30%, okay, have signs out there. Okay, they've got about so many lists out of the remaining 20%. Let's say they have the majority of those. And then I've got the bottom end of my company, the 50%, the bottom end of the company, and they've got some listings. Okay, so calls come in. They come in off the signs. Okay, now remember, 80% of the signs are over here, okay? Calls come in. Now, it's going to go to floor time, opportunity time. Real estate is ridiculous. Opportunity time, okay? What's opportunity time? It's an unpaid, okay, unsupervised / secretary, receptionist that the company doesn't have to hire. So who sits floor time? These people? They're too busy, man. They're out making money. These people for sure, and a lot of these people too. That's who sits floor time. So a call comes in on your sign, beautiful listing, $1 million listing in right here in Wesley. What's the town? Wesley? Right in Wesley. Okay, $1 million listing. Call comes in off your listing. You want it sold. You got beautiful customers. They love you. They want you to sell their house. They really want you to sell their house. And a call comes in. Where does the call go? Now, what are the chances? Now, why are these people sitting floor time? Why are they the non-producing part of this whole company? Because they can't take a phone call into an appointment, into a sale. If they could, they wouldn't be here. They'd be over here, right?
Yep.
So we've got all these non-producing associates taking leads, your leads, okay? They're taking the leads. That house, I think it's sold. I think it's sold. All right, thank you, goodbye. What happened? All right, another call. Oh, it's $1.4 million, a little overpriced, but you know, why, you want to say it? No? Okay, all right, bye. This goes on all day long. This is going on right now in the industry. This is the real estate industry. Let me tell you about it. It goes on in insurance. It goes on in, you want to sell widgets? It's going on in widgets. I don't care what you're doing. It's going on. People are blowing leads all day long. Okay? So, that was the conventional, that is the conventional industry. That's going on right now. So all these people are doing that. Now, we got mixed feelings here. How did you feel about losing that lead? That $1 million lead, 6% listing, your side could have been $60,000 you lost. $60,000, not $600, $60,000 she could have lost on that. Okay, so you can see there's going to be tensions from this side of the group against this side of the group. That goes on in the industry all day long. All right, so Remax comes around and it says, wait a minute, this is crazy, okay? The founder of Remax, Dave Liniger, in 1973, I think he got hit by lightning. It must have been, it had to have been, because he came up with a concept where it's almost like an attorney's cooperative, where an attorney has a practice, another attorney has a practice. They all used to have a library. Now they all have the libraries on the computer, but they all used to have a library. They all used to have a secretary. They all had copiers. They all had office space. They had staff. They had receptionists. And the attorneys got smart and they said, wait a minute, why are we doing this? Why don't we all get together, put a central core answering system services, and then each of us keep our own practice, and then we share the cost of the core. So Dave Liniger founded Remax, did the same thing, set up a cooperative for associates to come in there, share the cost. Now that means you got to pay every month, okay? So that's a whole other concept all by itself. In some of your reports, you know, it was going to be difficult to get people to pay. Yes, it is. Okay, and we're going to talk about that. Okay, so a cooperative of realtors. So, what's it going to cost? It's going to cost, let's say this cooperative now in real estate, in Remax, let's say it's going to cost, let's make it easy, $1,000 a month. okay? Now, average income in this area, these guys average, let's say they're making, in a conventional environment, when they were working conventional, they were making $60,000, $70,000. These guys in this area about 25, 30,000, and the average on this side of the room is about maybe $8,000 to $10,000 a year. That's how bad the real estate industry is. And remember, 80% of the realtors that you hear that are out there in the marketplace that have licenses are over here, okay? So that's how bad the industry is. A lot of part-timers, even say they say they're full-time, they're part-time, a lot of that stuff. It's riddled with it, okay? So the industry is ridiculous that way. But so is insurance and a lot of other sales types of industries, okay? So you've got this scenario. So Remax comes out and says, $1,000 a month. Can I go recruit these people to pay $1,000 a month? They only make $8,000 a year. No. But if I say to these people, they're making 60, they were giving their company 60 on a 50-50 split, and I say come to Remax and spend $12,000 of the 60 you gave your company, they make an extra $48,000 for the same amount of work. Right? So now instead of 60, they're making over $100,000 for the same amount of work. Let me put a little bit of berry topping on this thing. You ready? Let me give you all your sign calls will come to you. All of them will come to you. Whether they ask for you or not, whether you're in the office or not, they're all going to come to you. Can you do a better job than those people? Of course, right? Easy, yeah. All your ad calls, you're going to get them. All the internet leads, you're going to get them. These people end up making $200,000 to $300,000 a year. Okay? Is it hard to recruit? These people? Is it hard to recruit?
No, it's awesome. If they're good.
It makes sense, doesn't it? You'd think they would all be in Remax, right? They should all be there, right? But they're not. Why not?
Because they can't. These people aren't making enough money.
Forget these guys. I'm talking about these guys now.
Oh, why?
Why aren't all of these guys? So there's 1 million realtors in the National Association of Realtors. 20% is 200,000. Remax in the United States has just shy of 60,000. Why aren't 200,000 of these guys with Remax?
How do you know which ones are these guys?
Oh, it's easy. Statistics. We got it. I can give you to the day who made what. Got that. So why aren't they all there? There's 55, 60,000 are there.
Could be the management fee.
The $1,000? But I just showed you how they're paying 60. They're giving 60 on a split. They only have to pay 12. They make an extra 48 on the money. Okay?
Maybe they have reputation and they care about their old companies.
Good.
To work with Remax, you need to have like an entrepreneurial spirit to be able to be creative and think outside the box. And the people that are over here, or the people that are in this group that aren't at Remax, need that structure, and they need to be within that company that gives them the leads instead of chasing the leads.
Okay. All right.
To clarify, they'll be splitting the brokerage fee with Remax, or that's for them to keep?
Right now, they're splitting with a conventional company. And when they come to Remax, they can work on a split too until they pay for the $12,000. They can stay on a split because they're producers. I would never put these guys on a split because they can't even pay for the desk. Okay?
Remax doesn't offer the same resources and opportunities as other larger firms can.
And that's why they have 50% that are failures, right? The other companies have 50% that are failures.
Because they're hanging on to all the resources.
And they have all those resources that are producing nothing and whatever. No, we have all that stuff. We have the same things they have. We don't have a whole lot of training, like, here's how you knock on a door, here's how you answer a phone. Our people know how to do that stuff. So we don't have a lot of that, but you know what, when we go to a sales meeting in a conventional company, they gotta listen to that training every day on how to answer a phone, some of the too much basics. They gotta go through that every week where the manager's going, you don't answer the phone properly, and you don't do this right, and they gotta listen to that all the time. Okay.
I'm not sure, do they have contracts with their old companies? Like,
Yeah, but you can get out of them like this, okay? So why aren't they all here? I'll give you one, ready? This is a big one. You ready? This is important. I mean, fear of change. You guys are young. You embrace change. You guys are young. Give me change. You're okay with it, okay? Wait, if you're sitting here when you're 60 or 55, I'm going to ask you about changing, and guess what you're going to do? You might get fearful of change someday. things change. You know, you get older, you get fear of change. Maybe your generation might not be. Who knows? Maybe not, okay? But fear of change is a big one. It's big. Try to recruit somebody. You're going to be out recruiting people to your company. Go recruit them. Fear of change. You know, I love going here. I love my manager. I'm successful because of this. I'm successful because of them and this and that and the other. Fear of change. It comes in so many colors, shapes, you name it, it comes. Okay, so fear of change is big. Okay, and a lot of the other stuff you talked about is in there. You can throw in a lot of stuff as to why they haven't moved, but that's a big one for you. Okay. At some point we can talk about. Oh, I got to give you statistics. Here's a good one. Ready? I got this one right off the press. Ready? 2007, Remax hit its Remax New Jersey now, just New Jersey, and so did Remax. But we hit our peak. I'm going to give you real hard one-state numbers. We had hit the peak of units. We were number one in the state, and we had been number one in the state for about 3, 4, 5 years. We did 38,000 sides of a house. So you list a house, you sell a house. We did 38,000 sides, and we're number one against the second place company by about, let's say, 300 units. Okay. Now here it is. The market's, you know all about the market, right? So here we are, one of the worst real estate markets we've ever had. And we're number one, of course. And let's give you like 2011, 2010 numbers. We're number one, okay? We went from 38,000 sides to 25,000 sides. Number two was 300 units away from us, right? 4,000 units. 38, 25, 4,000 units below us. And everyone else was according to the same. So you come down here now and everyone else is the same. What happened? The floor fell out of the market. Why has Remax, that was number one by 300 units, dropped 13,000 units, still number one, but by 4,000 units? Why is Remax still number one? Max?
So you said the best brokers, so they're still going to, people are still going to need to sell at some point, so they're going to go to the best of the best.
Exactly. The stronger our base is, the stronger the Remax organization is by recruiting these people, okay? Rather than having a lot of people that are petty on the bottom end of the company, what's happening is our people, even though we've lost people, everybody's lost people, we've done less transaction, but the conventional systems are just bottom heavy, and they're a lot less units than ours. So the gap is widening. What happens to Remax in every market, in a good market, what will happen is Remax will climb, you'll get a recession, and you'll get a plateau, okay? And then it spikes. So after this recession, we're gonna get another major spike because we clean out all, and even in this area, when we recruit all these people, we're gonna bring in a lot of people from this area, we'll bring into the company, because we're recruiting and we're getting some of these guys in, and what happens in a down market, we'll lose the fringe part of the company. Okay, so what's happening with us is we're losing the bottom end of our company and we're replacing them with better producers. That's what goes on in a down market in our company. So that's a statistic part of this thing. I give you that. That's what happens when you have this kind of a company. You can ride out a recession a lot easier, a lot better. One thing that's happened in my life, my daughter came into the business a year ago. Graduated from school, came into the business a year ago. So there's a couple things in that case study that I know you guys are interested in. Sometimes you guys talk about partnerships and I get questions about partnerships. I've got some answers for you on partnerships, good or bad, just my opinion, doesn't mean it's Bible. But my daughter came in a year ago, 24, came into the business, very interesting. It's been an exciting year. The big bet was, she came in September, the over-under was Christmas, whether or not she would either quit or get fired. So the company had to make a bet. The ones that were after Christmas bet on one side of the ledger, before Christmas was on the other side of the ledger. So that was the first big bet that we had in the company. Christmas was the first date, after 3 days, or 3 months. Would she stay in the company? Would she be fired or stay? So that was the first hurdle. Let me give you one statement, maybe this will help you. I told this to Mr. Green. I hired her for a job. I had a position open, franchise sales. I believe that that's, if you can't sell, we're not gonna grow anything, right? You gotta be able to sell. So come into a company, you gotta learn how to sell. That's everything. You know, you can always hire, you can hire administration, you can hire production. If you can't sell, don't open a business, okay? I don't care what it is. If you're making a computer program or whatever, you gotta be able to sell it, okay? So she comes into the business in the franchise sales. So I hired her for a job, okay? She came into the business, all right? I hired her for a job. She came into the business, all right? So what does that mean? So what do I'm in the real estate business, right? What do I know about national advertising or advertising in the state of New Jersey? What do I know about billboard contracts? What do I know about TV, radio? What do I know about bus benches, transportation, all this stuff? What do I know about, accounting and I'm not an accountant, and what do I know about all these other parts, the technology, there's different facets of our business, but I have to be, as an owner, okay? You have to be involved in every aspect of your business. You think you're gonna be the salesman of the company and you're gonna make the sales, but you're gonna be involved in everything. You have to be involved in everything. A piece of advertising goes out, they're gonna ask you, is this okay? What do you think? Should we advertise this? How do we advertise this? Where do we advertise this? Your bookkeeping's gonna ask you about, where we're gonna make payroll from, and you're gonna come at you, and you're gonna look at all kinds of things on the accounting side. You're gonna look at technology. I'm going through this right now. What the hell to do with technology? I mean, what an animal that is, right? I mean, we have a major website, and I'm involved with the Remax International website, which they copied off of ours. We took ours and presented to them and said, this is the best thing going, guys. And after years and years, they finally realized what we had in New Jersey, they had to do across the country. And they did, and we were on 2 platforms. And we've been saying to them for years now, you should be on the same platform. And so now we're trying to put that all together. So the whole thing with technology, and the other thing about technology is on a national basis, is we're involved in the owners' meetings. How much of your institutional advertising budget that you spend in the country do you put on TV? How much do you put on internet? How much do you do in charities and stock car racing and golf outing and the Remax National Long Drive Competition and all these ARCA car, NASCAR? So all these things in a good market, when you got a $40, $50 million budget, you've got all these things going on. Well, now you're down to a $25 million budget, and what do? Where do you cut? Where do you cut? You cut TV? How much do you cut on TV? Now you come into brand. Do you cut the brand? What's the matter? Is brand more important? Do you stay on TV and cut everything else? All right? All these questions that we're doing right now on a national basis, when we go from a $48 million budget to a $25 million budget, and you're looking at all these things and saying, what do we do? We're on TV. 2 years ago, we had 100% share of voice on TV. 100% share of voice. Means no other real estate company was advertising on TV. So why are we spending $28 million on TV when you're the only voice on TV? So last year we were 75% voice on TV. Okay, so why are we spending X on TV? The question is, how important is brand? Okay, internet has been coming. The latest number I heard is over 94% of people that start buying a house start on the internet. How much of that budget do you move to the internet? Century 21 took all of it. First of all, they couldn't afford TV anymore, so they went all of it onto internet. Big mistake. So we go out and we spend $400,000 having a company that analyzes your advertising and studies, all the country, whatever, and figures it all out. And what they were seeing is, from when we had a $48 million budget to a 25, what we were doing is, we knew that internet was important, so we started putting some money, more and more money on that internet, but we were afraid, we didn't know where the line was. So when you don't know where the line is, when no one's telling you, you need a third of your budget on internet. We didn't know that, so we started going we started moving in that direction. So now we just got done, spent $450,000 on a company that did a survey of all of our internal, external advertising, what we do, and it's about a third. We need to put about a third of our money on internet, okay? Now, the rest of the budget, how much do we leave on TV? You know, we want to make sure that you have enough in there that keeps your brand name strong. You know, because Remax, you know, in this day and age, they're talking, you know, hey, Volvo, Toyota, whatever, IBM, Remax, you know, we're in that kind of thing, in that category of some major companies, with Walmart, with some major things. They've done some books on it. It has gotten to be that kind of a name. And so now we're balancing out TV, internet, other. And so we're struggling through that right now.
You got time to answer some questions?
Ready? Yes.
So just regarding in terms of determining how much money to allocate to internet, do you first just go by money, or are they saying like, okay, you want your ads here and here and here, and after looking at all that, they added up and it just happens to be a third of your money, or?
No, we did it, we want leads. In fact, I'm gonna ask you a big question. I'm gonna answer your question. I'm gonna ask you a question. Registration, how many times you've had to go to a website to get information and you have to register? Email, phone number, okay? Do you like it? I know. In New Jersey, okay, I've had the major internet people all over the country come to me and tell me, from day one I've had registration. From the beginning they told me, people don't like registration, it's no good. So if you're buying a pair of sneakers, if you're looking at something, it's one thing. If you're gonna spend $600,000, $400,000, $300,000, the biggest investment you're gonna make in your life, and someone asks you for registration to look at more pictures, more information about this house, I feel there's certain areas where registration is important. Even if you still don't buy that, I really don't care. I'll tell you why. I'm in the business of giving leads to my people. I need to give an email, some information to my people that they can follow up. Not only that, my website, when you give that email and that information, you fill in a registration, anytime you come back to this website, my phone, bing, I know that you're back on my website. Now, in fact, I know what houses you're looking at. So it'd be real weird if I called you right now and say, hey, how you doing, how you been? You know, but what we do is I follow, and then I can call you a couple hours later, tomorrow, I got a new listing on the market, would you know, and you connect with that buyer that came in before. So registration is important to us. What we've done is that analysis that came back to us, came back pretty much as a percentage. They came back and said a third, you know, some number, a third in us. For us, because the internet is becoming so strong that 90% of the people are starting on the internet, they recommended a third of our budget be on SEO, SEM, all that stuff. Internet, name purchase, generic growth, redesigning our website, all that stuff, it's about a third. Okay, so that's what they recommended. It didn't come to a dollar number. They kind of see what our budget was, it's about 25, so you come back in and say, well, about 8 million should be on internet. But a third is what they used. Yes?
And Joe, I'm going to ask you, try to shorten the answers just a little bit, my friend, because everybody wants to answer your questions.
You got it. Teddy?
Yeah, do you only focus on real estate, or would you, for example, develop your company to sell boats or assets that...
I opened up a hair salon 12 years ago. Guess what the hair salon business is? You go to a hairstylist?
No.
You don't? No. You go to a hairstylist? Cut your hair? Did she ever move?
No, we go to, well, yeah, they do.
Pardon me?
Yeah, they do.
And when they move, did you go with them?
Yeah.
And if they move again, will you go with them?
Yes.
It's a product loyalty, customer loyalty. 20%, the hair salon business is a 50-50 industry. 20% of the people do 80% of the volume. Trust me, I know. So I went out and recruited, I used the Remax concept in the hair salon business because I recruited people on a Remax concept. It was easier recruiting hairstylists than it was real estate people. Why? It was hard to recruit them because fear of change and all that stuff. But when I got one, they all brought their girlfriends. So when I recruited one, I recruited 4. So it became easier. But in an industry that does a 50-50 commission split, this program works. 50-50 commission split has to be the key. Question? Yes.
What is your selling strategy?
Huh?
For selling a house, what is your strategy?
Selling a house or selling a franchise?
Either one.
I haven't sold a house in 25, 30 years.
Or selling a franchise.
What's my philosophy? The last one I did 2 days ago was not to sell them a franchise.
How does that work?
They came to buy a franchise. I don't think they were financially right. They were in a Remax office. They want to spin out and open up another office. I convinced them to go back and buy into the broker's office. She was kind of tired. Buy into that office, put half down, half finance, 3 years, gives the broker an exit strategy. So other than that, my strategy is in franchising is go to a town that I don't have, right? I mail, I do my analysis. Independents, they could use a franchise. Managers of existing companies, and top producers. I take 3 different people, 3 different categories, I mail them 3 different letters. Why an independent should be a franchise, why a manager should be an owner and not a manager, why a top producer should be looking at Remax and own a Remax office. 3 different letters. After they get them, within 3 days after they get the letters, phone calls for appointments, face-to-face presentations, create urgency, very important. In that mix now, you gotta create urgency. If you don't buy it, I got someone else that's looking at it. The independent's looking at it. I got a top producer looking. Urgency is everything in sales. If you don't have urgency, create urgency. Yes?
So, real estate prices have been deteriorating for 4 years straight.
Yes.
How do Remax employees or realtors, how have they been handling that and dealing with that?
Getting out. They've been getting out of the business. No. You don't handle, the price is the price. You don't handle the price. What you have to do is educate the seller, because 4 years ago, my neighbor next door sold for $800,000. I want $800,000. My house is only going to sell for $6 now. You didn't sell 4 years ago. It's the same house, same everything. You are better, you have a bigger yard, you have a better this, and you have a better that, but you didn't sell 4 years ago. That's the hardest problem in this market, is convincing the sellers, get realistic as to the market conditions today on the value of your property. Once you do that, and you get into what's selling now, because this is what's sold at this price, if you put that house at that price, it will sell. Either they accept that and do it, or stay off the market, wait 3, 4, 5 years, and then try to sell. Yes?
Sir, do you measure the success of your sales reps or franchisees in terms of units or in
Franchise sales. Franchise sales. Because for me, the franchise sales is the same dollar for the franchise sale. Now, what's important is a franchise salesman might go after an independent and convert 30 people, 20 people, 10 people, or a franchise salesman goes out and sells one of my existing Remax agents, easy sell, an agent to buy an office. So the guy who can make conversions for you is more valuable because he's taking a harder scenario, making more money for the company. Franchise sales price is about the same, but the type of conversion, if somebody goes for easy, low-hanging fruit, Remax agents are easy to sell franchises to because they're already in Remax. If that's all a salesman's going to do is go after the low-hanging fruit, I got problems, because the broker owner now becomes mad at me because I took one of his agents out. That's less money he's going to make, and I sold him a franchise that I'm going to make money on next door to him. So the broker's going to hate me. So the franchise that does a lot of that, I'm not happy with that. Low-hanging fruit, forget that it's real estate, forget that it's Remax. A salesman that goes for low-hanging fruit, the easy sales, anybody can do that. It's the guy who can get you the hard sale. Yes?
Once you get a lead and you try to convert it into a sale, when and how do you sometimes figure out that you're wasting your time and the buyer is not likely to buy?
It's called the funnel. It's called a funnel. Okay? Put it in the funnel. Just put it in the funnel. Work them all. You'll have a feel. Hey, I'm wasting my time. We just had a conversation right now. They should have bought in April. It was a 2-sale operation. They didn't buy in April. My daughter stayed on him, email. We invited him to a sales rally a month ago. He came to the sales rally. I can't believe you guys do this. Reignited. All of a sudden we had a meeting to do, the meeting before the meeting to sell. Didn't show up, reschedule, not ready yet. All of a sudden here it is, it's moving again. She called him today and I said, call him back and say, hey, I didn't market the rest of the territory. I like what you're doing, but I didn't market the rest of it. I'm going to market the rest of it. If we're not going to move, then I'm going to continue to market the area. I'm going to call you. She's supposed to get a call at 3 o'clock today. I'm coming back after the weekend. Let's set up a time and an appointment. Could be dragging us out again. We don't know. Just keep moving them in the funnel. And once you put them in the funnel, keep moving them down the funnel. All of them. You don't know who's going to drop today. You put 20 people in the funnel, you don't know who's dropping. Just keep them in there, start moving them down the funnel. They're in the funnel, keep moving down. When they finally say, no, then get them out of the funnel. But you know what, in the meantime, just keep putting them in the funnel and moving them along the sale process. Yes?
And just read, just say, and don't take no as personal, okay, and don't take no as being.
It's a funnel.
It's.
Put them in there, just put them in there.
Have you had experiences selling franchises internationally?
In the water business, I did some international up in Canada. Logistics was a problem. I'm not there. The people that were there, I'm not supervising them. The people up there lost touch with me. They don't have touch with us. We were an American-based company. They didn't feel connected. Remax is in 84 countries. It's sink or swim out there. I mean, it really is. I mean, if you're good, you're going to be good. If you're not, you're not. Could it be done better? Yeah, but the people that we have in ownership at Remax aren't global. They're local. They're real local. They're down-home guys, you know. They're Denver, Colorado, down-home people. So they're not global in any way. So to be able to be dynamic to say, you know, globally, we're going to do this globally, no, we don't have that. Our company's not structured that way, even though we just sold over the last 3-4 years, 30 or 40 more regions around the world. Brazil open, India open, Saudi, I mean, we're all over the world. I mean, we're in 84 countries, I think it is. So we are a global company, but it's a weird situation. I mean, you need people. If you're going to do that, if you have something like that, you need some people. There again, there's people in the 20% range that have sold globally. You need one of them. You need some of those kind of people on the sales side, and you need some expertise and experience on how to make a global company gel into a united company. Because sometimes, you know, language, we've been in Quebec forever, we're #1 in Quebec, but they did it on their own. Remax never made a French brochure for them, nothing, you know. So internet is great, it's helping. Internet is a tremendous asset around the world. What we did in real estate in America was the postcards to the book to the internet, like that kind of a step. The world is going right to the internet. So they're attached, they're live, they're communicated well through the internet. That maybe is going to help in the future, but I don't think we are an example of, we're a good example of how to sell around the world, but I don't know if I'm an example of saying to you, here's how you bring this united. I don't know if we are. Yes?
So Remax seems to be very engaged in their recruitment process.
Every day.
So
Every
I'm
day.
wondering, do you have a talent hunter, and what the recruitment process is like? And
No.
What an interview would look like?
No, the talent hunter doesn't fit our scenario. No, it doesn't fit. Our people are free agents every day. I know who my players are to go recruit. The talent hunter in this business, in the real estate business, doesn't work real well. In engineering, in this and that, and the other, in different things it'll work. And I know areas where recruiters, my brother was a recruiter in the technology world. That works great in certain fields with certain niches, but they're not in the real estate business. Real estate business is open recruiting every day. So, but it is about recruiting and fine-tuning your recruiting tools one-on-one to recruit these people and teaching your brokers how to recruit. That's the key. My job is, how do I get my brokers to recruit? Teaching them how to recruit. And we have sessions and classes from some very, very sharp recruiting people on how to recruit. Personality styles, personality types, how to approach, what to say, what not to say, how to say it. We have a lot of that. Yes?
If I may ask, which was your worst franchise sale, and what did you do about it?
Oh, I sold the Louisiana Territory. It's called Cumberland County. I sold the whole county to an attorney. He knew that my contract better than me. You know, typical, what you don't, you know, I didn't know my contract real well. I just wanted to go out and sell. I know the concept, but the contract was, you know, so this attorney really got me hard, but listen to this. So he owns all this company, he owns the whole county. And I sold, his wife was the only gold producer in the county, the top producer in the county, always, year in, year out. I figured, if I'm gonna sell, and the county's small, low number of people, it's, you know, nothing. So I sold it to him. Well, the quotas kicked in. Like you have to keep so many people to control that territory. So he pays for 8 agents. He pays me 265 times 8. He pays me 3 times 8, 2,400 hours a month. Okay, without having the people there. Just writes me a check for 2,400. I get a percentage of her business. Writes me 2,400 hours every month to keep that territory because all the referrals going into Cumberland County go into her. So it's you know, it was the best I could do. I got the quotas in there, but you know that, and I'll give you a couple examples of bad. Oh, I got a lot of bad franchise sales. I'll give you a bad one. One of my biggest, number one at the time was White, right? So I sold the vice president of White. You think that's going to be great, right? Vice president, number 2 guy, big organization, number 1 company in the state. I sold to this guy, right? Remember one thing: when you sell to a person, a manager and employees or salespeople, they're there every day. Okay, so these guys are interacting every day. All right, so if you recruit this person, these guys will come with that person because they interact every day. Then you get a regional manager. They don't have contact with these people. And now you get a corporate, number 2 guy has no contact with these people whatsoever, okay? So I get this guy and I think, nothing, because these people don't know him, okay? So they don't know him at all. So manager sales, good. Regional up here, no contact with your people, not a good sale. I got a lot of bad stories, got a lot of those, yes.
So you began this with a partner, correct?
Yes.
Can you just discuss, maybe some of the challenges or benefits?
Okay.
First, if I could, what do you really think his part, now that you've seen Joe in action, Joe's a very quiet guy, as you know. What kind of partner would be best to work with Joe? Okay, and was there an advantage, do you think, that he was in college with him so he knew him a little bit, or would have been better off just picking somebody off the street before you ask him the question?
Well, I think, it's very beneficial that you knew him going into it. And, I'm assuming that it's someone who can kind of balance you out and kind of, take on that organizational aspect of it.
You hit it right on the nail. When I started looking at Remax, I bought a franchise for Remax. I went to Denver buying a franchise for Springhouse, Pennsylvania, near Bluebell, Pennsylvania. So I bought this franchise in May, and I put all the information in the drawer. I didn't read a whole lot, me about contracts. I didn't read a whole lot, so everything's in the file in the drawer. In July, I went to training. In July, that was May of '84, July I went to training.